Hi, Mila.
Hi,
Hi, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here and what did I draw today?
What did you draw?
I draw him. Someone will kiss you in the prince.
We'll kiss you and the prince. And how old are you?
5.
You're 5, and what show are you on?
Mila talk.
Mila Talk Show. What are we working on?
Using my brave voice.
Using your brave. Have you been using your brave voice?
Yes.
Are you talking in school now?
Yeah.
Yes. To your teachers and all the grown-ups?
Mm-hmm.
And all your friends?
Yeah, but you, Mommy, you have a weird camera.
I have a weird camera. I do. It's a big speaker, so I can hear your beautiful voice.
Oh.
Hi everyone, I'm Vicky, Mila's mom, and we're here to share our story with selective mutism. Since Mila's diagnosis 4 months ago in October 2019, she was nonverbal, and now she is fully verbal. Throughout our videos, we will share with you many of the topics and resources that we actually encounter going through the selective mutism diagnosis. I've been asked by many parents, how did Mila progress so fast? And what did you do in order to get her treatment right away? What were your interventions? And how did you get the school to approve a 504 plan during the first meeting? These are all the questions that many parents ask from the day their child is diagnosed with selective mutism. There's an overwhelming amount of information and resources out there. But when your child is diagnosed with a disorder, all you want to do is start action and start helping them. But you don't know how. You don't know where to even start. And so we want to provide you the resources, regardless if you live far away from a therapist like we do, and or you have limited resources in order to get your child that help. We're here to provide you with our insight and what we actually went through to get Mila successful treatment, help, and now verbally talking. I wanted to share with you pictures of Mila when she started preschool, and now pictures and videos of her now as active child that we see in the house today. She is that vibrant, animated, sweet girl that's in school now, behaving like she does at home as well. So our videos, as we move forward in our journey, we want to share with you every step of the way. And hopefully we can give you hope that your child can overcome selective mutism. Now, I understand that every child is different, and I understand that a child can have other code disorders or morbidities as well. But I'm hoping that through our videos, you're able to use some of our techniques to help your child. I want to start by saying that I am not a clinician by background. I'm just a very strong-willed mother who would do anything to help my child. And I'm her biggest advocate. We have to be our children's biggest advocate. Additionally, I have over 20 years of healthcare operations and background, so I'm able to help navigate through this complex healthcare system and health plan in order to get my daughter's treatment in network. And through our videos, we will share with you all of our trials and tribulations. We will share with you what we have learned along the way and all the great techniques summarized so that you can take action immediately. Through Mila's Facebook page called Mila Talk, Crushing Selective Mutism, or you can also find it at Mila Talk SM, we have a Dropbox of all the information and resources that is available to anybody who wants to use it. If you have found our channel, it's because either your child has just been diagnosed with selective mutism and you're trying to figure out how to start help, and or you're in this journey along the way and need additional resources and encouragement to help your child along the way to overcome selective mutism. That's what we're here for. We wanted to provide you with our story and our journey and to give you hope that your child can overcome selective mutism. What is selective mutism? People with selective mutism can speak normally, but find themselves struggling and can't speak in certain situations and settings, such like the school environment. For children, the onset is between 3 to 6 years old, because that's when they start school. and the teachers are aware of their behavior. Either the child's not talking, they're mute, just nonverbal, and not participating in class. Selective mutism was deemed to be rare at one point, but the latest research indicate that it affects 7 out of 1,000 children. And it actually is underdiagnosed because of the fact that not many healthcare providers and teachers and or school are aware of this disorder. Mila's story. At age 2, Mila had always been a very timid and clean baby. She had major separation anxiety from me, regardless of where I was at. I could be in a different room in the same house, and she would still cry, trying to find me. I used to associate that with just the fact that she was a mama's girl. But when she turned 3, her behavior continued to change. Though she was still cling towards me and wanted to be close to me at all times, when people would come over to visit, including families that she had just seen either that day or earlier that week, she would run to me, hold on tight, and would not have any type of eye contact or communication. We used to always joke that let's give her 10 minutes and she should be fine and ease in and be talkative and playful again. And normally she would be with family members. But at outings, it was different. Every time somebody would come to us, a stranger or somebody we knew would approach us, Mila would hold on to me tight, no eye contact, tuck her head in my chest. When that person has left, she would then resume her normal conversation with me. Now, as many parents, I used to always save Mila during all of the questioning. And or I will always say, oh, Mila's just extra shy or extremely shy or very shy. But deep down, I knew something was not right. I knew something was affecting my child, but I could not put my finger to it. I could not put my arms around it. At the end of August 2018, Mila started preschool, and she was mortified. Every time I took her to school, she would cry, pleading not to go. The teacher would have to pry her off of me and hold her for the better part of the morning until she was able to relax a little bit and enjoy class time with her friends. And every time I picked her up, she would beg me not to go back to school. Her words were, I don't like everybody looking at me. I don't like being the line leader. I don't like being the door holder. And it's just so noisy in there. She wouldn't eat at school. She just did not want to be there. And again, I associate that with the fact that I had been home with Mila for 2 years as a stay-at-home mom, that she just had separation anxiety in addition to a big change going to school. I had no idea that she was suffering selective mutism. At Milas School, we had the option of half days or full days. I opted for half days at first. And by the end of November, Mila actually said to me she wanted to go to school full time. She wanted to play with her friends, and she was having such a great time. And for once, I finally thought, she is over her separation anxiety. In February 2019, we had a get-together at our house. We were invited over families from our neighborhood and families from Mila's pre-K class. One of the mothers who had just moved here from the Metroplex asked me, does Mila have selective mutism? The only reason why she asked was the fact that her previous neighbor's daughter had the same behavior as Mila. She was concerned if Mila had selective mutism. Like many parents here, I have never heard of selective mutism before, and I have been in healthcare for over 20 years. So that evening, I Googled and researched what selective mutism was. I read every symptoms, every behavior. I read articles and research. And as I read all of the behaviors and the definition of selective mutism, I knew right then and there my daughter had selective mutism. I finally was able to put my finger on what has been bothering my child all this time. And I was relieved. Many parents are distraught when they find out anything has impacted their child or diagnosed with any type of disorder. And yes, although I would not want Mila to go through what she's going through, I was finally able to pinpoint what was affecting my daughter and that now I can help her. The next day, I went to speak with Mila's preschool teacher, informing her of my concern that Mila has selective mutism. Her teacher validated the fact that she has never spoken to an adult since she started school. She has come a long ways because she speaks to all the children, she plays with them, but the minute she sees an adult watching her or have eye contact with her, Mila will automatically freeze and stop talking. I immediately asked her to get a speech pathologist in the classroom to observe Mila to see if maybe she can speak with her. And in the meantime, I reached out to Mila's pediatrician to get the ball rolling on getting a referral to a specialist or a therapist, and to find out if there's anybody in our small town that specializes in selective mutism. I just want to do everything I possibly could to get my daughter immediate help. The closest therapist that specializes in selective mutism was over 75 miles away from us. I immediately contacted them, knowing that I didn't need authorization through my health plan, and made an appointment. However, it was over a month away. In the meantime, I continued research what selective mutism was, and I reached out to every single local therapist in town within a 45-mile radius to see if anybody has ever worked with a child with SM. Throughout this research and learning more about selective mutism, I finally understood that I had it too. Throughout my whole life growing up, I was very different from every one of my siblings. I was always shy, timid, quiet. I was the one you would see in the corner of the room observing and not interacting. I hated being the center of attention, and I hated speaking. I too was just like Mila. And so I knew deep down how my daughter has been suffering this whole time, because I had suffered throughout my life. You know, I had over 40 years to work through my selective mutism, and through education and having to network in life, I have slowly learned how to overcome selective mutism, even though it's still not easy for me today. But it is my job to help my daughter, and it's my job to help her overcome it so she doesn't have to struggle throughout her life like I did. So our hope is to help you as you follow our journey through crushing selective mutism. In our next video, we will share with you how we were able to get diagnosed with selective mutism and choose the right therapist for us. So stay with us and follow our journey through, because I'm certain you too can help your child overcome selective mutism.